Something was going on in downtown Davis. It was a project in front of a project that involved a crane, an angel, and a solid steel girder.
Shooting lift, yeah. They're going to lift this big piece of metal and put it here, and then this is the artist that Cedric went with, and he made a big sculpture of an angel. And inside this building, there's a 26-foot painting of an angel that relates to this piece, doesn't it, Cedric?
It sure does.
It belongs to a collector, and we're trying to give it to the law schools interested in taking it this year. They're building a new law library, so they're going to have a wall for it.
We sent out a call for the local community to support and interact with our Transmedia sculptures. I'm not quite sure if they understood what we meant. What I know is that they had never seen or experienced Cedric Wentworth's vision before. It seemed to have landed in the middle of a construction zone. The great angel was here to stay. A steel base rising up to the sky stood something up there just out of reach. Go up and touch the foundation. What is the purpose of its smooth, solid metal support? Does it remind you of a trunk for an industrial tree? Is there a height limitation for art in downtown Davis? Where does the base of sculpture begin? Do you have any questions, opinions, or suggestions? Leave a message. Burn an impression. The issue, sharing experiences.
And so it's really, you have to, if you want some on your art, just let me know and we can, place them.
Okay.
And they won't hurt the metal, and you can always take them off.
Sure.
And this will allow people, if they want to leave messages, they can.
Okay.
We can write links to this video directly onto the piece.
That sounds great.
And there's a lot of surface, for sure.
On this one?
Yeah.
That we just put it, yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Where are you thinking of putting the little
I'll leave it up to you, It's,
so maybe underneath that top plate?
We can try that. That's a little hard for them to reach, though.
So what are they supposed to do with that little piece?
They hold their cell phone up to it.
I see.
And it'll, immediately what it does is, I'm writing instructions on the cell phone.
I see.
To go up to a server, in this case would be YouTube, and download a video.
Okay.
But if you wanted to leave
So where do you
music,
think it should go on that column? Just anywhere on
anywhere.
the inside of that?
Yeah.
Fine.
and what we could do is I could just
What are you going to give me?
I could give you the tag if you want to put it on yourself. Or,
No, I think you should.
I could just have my daughter put it on.
That's perfect.
Perfect. Then I guess I was kind of interested in what I saw in this movie that you made.
Yes.
I like the feedback from the public, and it's not always that it has to be positive.
Yeah, so often they were really disturbed.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? They were really disturbed with the box.
Yeah.
And with the woman inside of it. Some of them were thinking. Remember the one lady that was first really angry with it, and then she kind of turned around and she's like, "Well, actually, it's kind of a metaphor." That's what I liked too.
Yeah, and so it
Same
kind
thing.
of like you're getting people to start thinking about things, and I like that idea. So it's a way of starting through your art a story and letting them interact with it, and then complete the story on their own terms.
Well, it is, and it's also very conceptual in that you are creating. In fact, one of a British art critic by the name of Edward Lucy Smith wrote a little piece about those steel and bronze works of mine, that box included.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he talked about it, and he called it postmodern because of the juxtaposition of the two aesthetics together. That very hard edge kind of minimal steel with the figure is what's so difficult to process. So in that way, it's very conceptual, the work, and it kind of makes you. It's not a minimal piece. It's not a figurative piece, and it's also not narrative particularly. Although it feels like some of those people reacting to the piece felt like they were feeling a little bit of a narrative. So it's disturbing, and it's got this kind of side where it makes you wonder what are the artist's intentions and and why is there some message about women in the piece, or is there some message about humanity? So in that way, I agree. I feel like it kind of pulls people in and isn't necessarily easy to digest. It doesn't give you a lot of answers. It just kind of leaves the question out there. What's about the woman, about why she's in there.
When you got responses back from the public, did that inspire you to create other things?
I soon after that, I don't remember exactly whether it inspired me, but I do know that soon after that sculpture was installed, and that piece initially for that movie was installed down in Fresno, and then later it went to the it finally went to the Oakland Museum. After that, I did this larger piece. In fact, my assistant Zach has seen it down in Fresno, in front of the Fresno Art Museum. It's the same kind of piece, but it's bigger. So yes, it was part of a continuum. And this other piece had two male figures in it, so it's kind of, it's both male and female, sort of enclosed in terms of. So it did inspire the audience. The reaction of the public has been a source of inspiration for me with that work.
And I imagine it'd be different. Let's say the public in Fresno versus Oakland.
I don't know. I would imagine it too, but I don't know. I think that honestly, there were a lot of people actually. Honestly, there were people who were frustrated with the piece in Fresno. They didn't, and I think in Oakland they would probably. In fact, I got feedback because that same piece was at Jack London Square in Oakland. Yeah. And I got similar feedback. Yeah. So
what we're going to try doing, or actually we will do it, is then put a virtual copy on a wall, on the internet, and then allow people also to leave comments. And
so this tag, you're saying people go up to it with the cell phone and they can actually talk?
Yeah, so that I could videotape something.
It's crazy.
And depending on what kind of phone, you can immediately just write the link's information on the tag.
So how do you interact with that project? How does the viewer?
The viewer, so let's say
the stranger that walks up to the piece, can they participate?
Yeah, well, so they can actually get the last message.
That's cool.
So the person before them might have left an impression, their experience with your art, and they could have left a message, and the next person could retrieve that.
Well, essentially, I was just telling some friends of mine and people I work with, that piece really is you could look at it as the angel of death. So it's going to be interesting to see what people think, because if you look at the head of the angel, it's very skeletal. I don't know if you noticed that.
No, I did.
But it's kind of like the eyes are little crosses, like which kind of represent death. Whenever you have a face with the crosses for the eyes, it kind of represents death. So and then also there's you see, if you look at the body and the wings, they're these kind of metal. It almost feels like bones, like there's these skeletal forms. It's just got a real sort of apocalyptic quality to it, as well as just more whimsical. It's just there's a certain sort of the way the clay is applied is sort of loose and whimsical, but there is a dark side to it. So it'll be interesting to see if people really are noticing. This is not just any angel. This isn't like the happy angel, right? In Raphael's painting. This is the Davis angel.
Oh, that's good. That's appropriate for Davis.
That's right. This is the angel for the Central Valley. So in 2012.
There you go.
So it's not Raphael's little Cupid angel.
And so then when you have a virtual copy, so we have a wall, then it also allows other people to respond back to the comments. So it becomes kind of like a discussion board. That's why I'm saying that, by putting this out in the public, it's almost a portal to another world. And that other world, we really don't know what it is.
So you're going to take these videos, like maybe this interview, other stuff, like from the Steel, the movie of mine. Yeah. You're going to, and then from the other artists' videos, and then those videos will be on YouTube.
Yeah, they already are, and they're also on project pages. Okay. So as people,
let's say, you have to give me the link.
Oh yeah, yeah, I will. It's under bulatag.com.
Okay.
But I'll give you all the information.
Is that your?
It's just a word I came up.
Okay. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.